another week of building the Caldercraft HMS Victory. This week we're going to be fitting this inner frame all the way down each side of the deck. As you can see, I've done this side. They don't fit perfectly like the deck. You've got to take 1 or 2 millimeters off the bottom of it to make sure it sits in nice and firmly. So I'll turn the ship around and we'll get started. Now we've got part 275 that needs to slot underneath these supports here. They're actually cut reasonably wide, so you do have a bit of movement so you can line up the gun ports evenly. I've got the camera right in front of me, it's hard to get each end of the ship. Oops. So yeah, as you can see, that's not going to fit under there, and it'll probably be like this side. We need to take about 2 millimeters off the bottom there. So I'm not going to show it on camera because it's pretty boring. But I'm literally just going to mark 2 millimeter edge. I use my Dremel to get close and then just finish off with a sand to make it nice and smooth, and then we'll come back and try again to fit it. Okay, I've sanded off that couple of millimeters. We'll just have another go fitting it under here. Definitely better. I'll just check the alignment, make sure everything is actually lining up, so when we line them, everything will fit neatly. And I think it looks like it's still sitting maybe 0.5 millimeter too high. I'll try one more, just have a look. Yeah, it's the same, about 0.5 millimeter. So I'll go back and trim off another 0.5 mil and then I'll return. Okay, we'll give that another go. So that's fitting perfectly. Try the odd one, the length across the full length of the ship. So that's alright. Get back up there. There you go. Another one through. That's fine. One more. Okay, so that's now the correct height. So I'll get some glue ready and we'll fit this to the ship. Okay, I've put glue just along each frame. So I'll just slip that into place. Now we just need to, we know it's right as far as up and down goes, just got to push it forward so they line up horizontally as well, and then just clamp that in place. I don't need just reaches. I think I need some longer clamps. But just holding it at the top will work because the bottom's jammed in where it needs to be. One thing about this hobby, you can never have too many clamps. So eventually, once this is dry, we can line these gun ports, and then we're going to plank that inner wall also all the way to the back. But before we do that, we'll be planking this deck. So we'll just leave that to dry, and then I'll return. Planking this deck, the instructions call for us to get part 205, not glue it in place, but just set it in front of bulkhead number 1 so we can see where we're planking to, or where the planking starts. So we then know that it's across that line here, and then we plank basically the entire deck, from what I can see from the instructions, all the way out to the inner bulwarks to the stern of the ship. So next up, we'll make the planks. So you've already got a few planks done. These are all 10 centimetre lengths, 7.5, 5 centimetres and 2.5 centimetres. That's to get the 4-shift pattern happening. Out of one of these planks, I can get 10 of the 10 centimetre ones made up. I think it's going to take quite a few. I think I've got 60 done so far. I'd say it's going to take probably 5 times that amount to do this deck. Mix those up. So I'll just grab what I've just cut. Just clamp them. And I'll just double check that they're all nice and straight. There's only less than half a mil difference in this lot. And use pencil to colour in the edges so you get that caulking effect. Most of this everyone would have seen before on multiple channels, so I'm not being carried away with showing too many. I'll just do these 10, and all the rest I'll end up doing on my own. Okay. Now I grabbed 5 of them, put them together, and I've made a little jig out of the same size wood, but I've pre-drilled 2 accurate holes where the nails go. So I just line that up with the 5 of them, hold that. Grab my little drill. This has got a 0.2 millimeter drill bit on it. That's why I only do 5, so I can actually get through them. I was doing them one at a time at one point, and that does take a long time. And off. I don't know if you can see it, but there. Got the 2 holes on there now. They'll become more noticeable once I finish them. And I just do the other end. So that's that 5 nearly ready. Do these other ones. It's important to make sure they are exactly lined up. And turn it around. So it's the 10 of them with their holes for the nails. Now all I do, I've got a 0.2 millimeter pencil. I just give that a bit of a twist inside each hole just to darken it up. And this will really stand out once it gets varnished. Pencil broke off that one. Okay, so they're all now finished. So that actually, as you saw, doesn't take that long to make them up. So this is enough to get started. I can film some, and then the rest of it I can do on my own. Okay, as you can see, I made a mistake. I did the wrong line. It's actually the next one out, because that part 205 was sitting out here. Just using white quickset glue. So just line that up exactly with the middle. I use a 7.5 centimeter plank next to it. This one I only have the nails at this end, because I don't want a line of full nails going across, and this end you're not going to really see much of anyway. Next up, a 5 centimeter plank. Making sure that is just behind that line, so that bulkhead's going to sit in there nicely. And then 20 or 2.5 centimeter piece, 25 millimeters. And then the next one would be a full plank, and that will give us our 4-butt shift. But before I do that, I'll do a few more down here. Basically, after you've put those first 4 planks in, you only have to use the full length planks, because you've set that pattern now. Okay, so I'll keep going. I'll stop when we get to this frame number 1, because we're actually going to have to adjust the length of the planks to keep our shift consistent. Okay, so now we've just reached the point where this first bulkhead is. We've still got to keep going across to make sure the planks still line up. I have to take into consideration that this plank will be that much shorter. So it's not a lot, just the 5mm thickness of the plank. Just double check, make sure that lines up where it's supposed to. And yep, that's in line with where the matching plank will be. I'll just get some glue on this. Okay, pop that one in there. And next up will be a 7.5 centimeter plank. And then we do the same. Take off the thickness of the frame. And just pop it in. And a 5cm plank. That one I've already cut off at 5mm. So I forgot to start the camera again. I put the 2.5cm plank in there. And as it did on the other side, it fits perfectly. There's like 1/2 mil gap up against that frame, but that doesn't matter because we're going to be planking this anyway. So that's basically all I do. That pin going back, it's all going to be straightforward. Occasionally I might have to trim one edge a little because it bends from about this point to roughly around here, and then it goes straight all the way back. So I might have to shape a couple of planks a little bit. So as I said, nothing's going to change from this point out. I'll go ahead and plank the rest of this deck and then I'll be back. My deck has been planked now. I'm just going over, giving it a sand with 400 grit paper. It won't need a lot, as it's reasonably smooth already. It took me a bit longer than I expected. I've had to go back to work unfortunately, so that's taking up a lot of my time. I hope to get a video out at least once every 2 weeks, but we'll see how we go. So I'll go get the rest of this deck done and then I'll return. Applying a matte polyurethane varnish, and once this dries, which takes roughly about 8 hours, I'll be giving it a very light sand and then another coat after that. As you can see, it's really highlighting the joins and the nail holes we put in earlier when we made the planks. So it's not coming out too bad. Also brings out the colour of the wood. Also you can see where it's been sanded to where we've applied the varnish. It looks a lot better. So what I'll be doing is going to be ending the video once this deck's varnished. There's no point waiting an extra day or two to get the video out, not just for the sake of waiting 8 hours and then you get to watch me varnish it again. So yeah, that hasn't come out too bad. It'll take quite a while to do it. So, as I was saying, we're going to leave this to dry. I'm going to sand it and then re-varnish it again. So I'll show you the rest of the deck. So yeah, as I said, hasn't come out too bad. I keep getting sidetracked, don't I? Yes, in the next video we're going to be lining these 5 gunport will be lining the inside of those, and then we'll be planking this wall on the inside as well. So I'd imagine that's probably going to take up just about an entire video just doing those couple of things. And then once that is done, then we go back to working on the outside of the hull. So thanks for joining me, and hope to see you next time. Cheers.